Welcome into Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We do want to continue on with some of the top stories that we are following today. We just gave you this update there out of New York City. We do know that the NYPD says that they do have a person of interest now in custody after a woman was fatally set on fire there on a Brooklyn subway train. So do want to get out to those comments as we did get an update from the NYPD commissioner. Let's listen into what they had.
Yes, you heard that. Can you believe in New York City? Like I've been saying the last few weeks, why always New York? These things, is it symbolic? Does it have any meaning, any significance? Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson and welcome again to my channel. December 22nd, 2024, 6:18 in the PM. I treasure you guys have had a great day. New York, New York. Let's hear what happened. A person of interest set a lady on fire. They were on the train and it was the F stop. The F stop. Wow. And at the end of the line, he set her on fire. I want you to notice the burgundy that she's got on her collar. Okay, you know, I teach the 5 C's of clues, codes, colors, confirmation, time, and conclusion. It's in that purple family, the Phoenicians, the power. I wonder if that has any significance, that she's speaking without speaking, the purple. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you guys might remember there was an incident with someone else on fire earlier this year. Is there a connection? Listen.
And New Yorkers came through again. It was just before 7:30 this morning when our person of interest and the victim were both riding an F train to the end of the line at Stillwell Avenue in Brooklyn. As the train pulled into the station, the suspect calmly walked up to the victim, who was in a seated position at the end of a subway car. The suspect used what we believe to be a lighter to ignite the victim's clothing, which became fully engulfed in a matter of seconds. Officers who were on patrol on an upper level of that station smelled and saw smoke and went to investigate. What they saw was a person standing inside the train car, fully engulfed in flames. With the help of an MTA employee and a fire extinguisher, the flames were put out. Unfortunately, it was too late, and the victim was pronounced on the scene. Unbeknownst to the officers who responded, the suspect had stayed on the scene and was seated on a bench on the platform.
Seated on a bench on a platform. He watched the whole thing, people. And I have some footage in relation to that. Can you believe that? Let me show you this here. Here's the train car, 9502. There's the flame. Literally the flame. Now watch this here. That's him right there. You can barely see the flame, but he was sitting there, but he rose up. I couldn't make out what this had on this shirt. I don't know if it was flowers or what, but it looked like the eyes of a snake. I just can't tell. I couldn't tell. Couldn't get enough viewage. And there he is, as the flame goes on, and the policeman walked right past him, but didn't know at the time that that was him. So he set the lady on fire, allegedly, and then went and sat down. Who does that? There's the police officer. There he is. Okay.
The police commissioner called this crime heinous and said she was glad that they do have a person of interest that is in custody at this hour. Take a look at the person. This is a picture of the man police had been searching for since just after 7:30 this morning. And this, police confirmed for us, is the man that they now have in custody. He is accused of using a lighter to set a woman on fire at the very last stop on the F train, Stillwell Avenue in Coney Island. Police say their suspect was riding the train along with the victim, who appeared to be sleeping, and then, for reasons that are unknown, he set her on fire. The entire interaction was captured on surveillance video inside the subway car. Police did respond to the scene and eventually put the fire out, but it was too late. The woman died at the scene there. And in an especially disturbing twist, police say the suspect sat on a platform bench afterward and watched the victim.
He watched the victim burn. Can you be that cold? It's kind of sick, isn't it, when you think about it? I want to show you another of the 5 C's. Track number 6. Man was created on the 6th day. When you go under, they bury you 6 feet. Here's the car. Right there, track 6. Is that coincidence? And above that, F. F. Now let's look at a few things here. Horrific video shows suspect watching woman burn to death in F-train car after he allegedly set her on fire. Aren't these criminal activities getting more bizarre? Who sits there? What is the mindset of people today? You feel me? Now I want to show you something here. That's him. And again, I cannot tell what design this is. If someone can, put it in the comment section. I cannot make that out. Other than that, now it looks like a top hat, 2 eyes. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe this is a mouth, and that's a nose, and these are 2 eyes, and that's a top hat. I don't know. Anybody know that design? Let me know. It might be a big clue. But look here. The car is car 9502. Now, you can't see it, but the fire is over here. Okay, like I showed you a little while ago. The fire is over there. Okay? Here's a better one. See, 9502. Where my finger's at, 9502. And there's the fire right there. So he's sitting there. He's sitting there as the fire is raging. But I had to look at that 9502. 9502. Now watch this here. 9502 divided by 44. I know the numbers of the Antichrist, like 6636, 44, 84. When I do my work, the odds are it's one of those. When you take 9502 divided by 44, Barack Obama just happened to be the 44th president, look at what you get. 215, carry the 9, you get 216. What is 216? The 216th day of the year, ladies and gentlemen, is August 4th. Who was born August 4th? What you say, Pearson? I say scratch your head and do it again. The car is 9502. 9502 divided by 44 gives you 216. The 216th day of the year is August 4th. And he, my friend, was born August 4th. Is that a coincidence? Now check this out. This situation happened earlier in the year, okay? There was a situation that happened back on 4/19. On April 19th, Trump was in court. St. Augustine man sets himself on fire outside of Trump trial. Listen to this.
For you tonight, a man from St. Augustine making worldwide headlines tonight after setting himself on fire outside the trial against Donald Trump in New York City. And you can see right there the flames and smoke as people just ran from the scene today, Anthony.
And Jeannie, that man has been identified tonight as Max Azzarello. You see two mugshots of the man here next to me. This is actually from his arrest in St. Johns County just 3 days apart in August of last year. Those arrests were for criminal mischief and disturbing the peace, both misdemeanors. So this is what we know right now at 5 o'clock on this Friday. Around 1:30, the man walked into a park near the New York City courthouse where former President Donald Trump is on trial. Witnesses telling police he opened a book bag, then he scattered pamphlets around the park, then he poured a liquid on himself before setting himself on fire. He then fell onto a police barricade. Investigators say it appears that he had a vast conspiracy.
Okay, so here he is
This is
here.
what we know right now.
I did a few videos on this, and I've used this photograph in other aspects. His tongue is out, and his eye is winked. Eye is winked. And I asked the question then, I ask it now. Why is the eye winked? Do you understand? That same question I asked here. Let me see. Man in bushes at Mar-a-Lago with Trump. You guys probably remember this guy here. There was a man in bushes. Man in the bushes. Let me see if I can find him. I have to be a little bit more specific. Man in bushes at Mar-a-Lago, Trump. Possible. If I get his name, then I'll get it right. How about that? Okay. So here's the guy. This guy here. Remember him? You see his eye winked? They kept showing this. Eye winked. And then there was another one he had. And his eye was winked. And I'm seeing a lot of this, like, okay, what is that about? Tongue out, eye winked. You know, with the eye thing, when people does this work, then you got here, the glass is over the eye. Is this an all-seeing eye move? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? The eye winked. Why do they have this image with people who are doing bizarre things? The eye with the wink. Now, let me go back here. Man dies after setting himself on fire near Trump trial courthouse in New York. A man who set himself on fire outside New York City courthouse, where former President Trump hush money trial is underway, has died, police said. Witnesses said that they saw the man, identified by the New York Police Department as 37-year-old Max Azzarello, poured liquid over his head and set himself on fire at 1:39 p.m. local time on Friday. In a briefing immediately after the incident, NYPD said Azzarello, a Florida resident who had arrived in New York City early in the week, walked into the Collective Pond Park, opened a book bag, and of course, you know what happened from there. Now, here's one of the videos I did on him. Check this out. Right? Like 2019, that was chaos, right? Arguably, wasn't this scene where this guy put himself on FIRE? Wasn't that chaos? Was this an acting job here? Was this all set? Look at her hair. Look at it. She's on the phone, right? The points in her hair. Keep going. See, she's all distraught. She bends down. She's all upset. She got horns on her head, though. Her hair Her head looked like horns. Then look at her. Look at her. Was this an acting job? Look at that. And FedEx was behind this thing, that is in the background. And there she is. Was all this for the camera? I caught it. I couldn't wait to bring it to you. Why the camera is all just on her solo? All this going on, and they running the camera on her. Why? Why? All this going on. Now I had made reference. I had made the reference in one of the videos to the leopard. See the leopard? The leopard, like Egyptian, okay? Sun god Ra. But also I made a reference to this backpack, but I didn't get that right till the second video. See the backpack? I thought it was champs, but it's champion. And I said, these look like eyes. Look, there. And this looks like a mouth slit. A snake, people. This is all at the place where the guy set himself on fire. But I'm looking at images. That looks like an eye. That looks like an eye. And then a zip. I know they zipped it on purpose, but who poked that like that so it looked like a snake face? And then you got this here. Champion. Let's look at Champion logo. Champion logo. See that? Champion logo. Now, if you take Champion logo, and let me show you something here. This is what I did last year. I took Champion logo and I turned it upside down. And what does that look like to you now? Does that look like horns and a face? I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying that's what it could appear to be. Horns and a face. You see? And the eyes above, snake, then the devil. And then preceding that, you got the Egyptian, and her hair is a design of horns. Horns in her hair. Do you follow me? The whole thing looks suspicious to me. But get this. Here's the date, people. The date of that incident when the guy set himself on fire, right outside the courthouse where Trump was, that was April 19th of 2024, this year. And the incident today on the train track when that guy sat there and watched her burn, 12/22 of 2024. The difference is 8 months and 4 days. Who was born August 4th? Barack Obama. Really, Pearson? Yeah, Barack Obama. August 4th. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. I'm not kidding you. 9502. I got that from the train. Divided by 44. Give me 216. August 4th. August 4th. Just like August 4th there. Are these situations connected? It's deep, ain't it? It's deep. But let me see something here. I want you to see this here. This is, you see this guy here? He just resigned 2 days ago. He was fired. Are you listening to me? He was fired. I believe his title was police chief. He was fired. I find it coincidence or whatever, however you want to put it, that I could possibly tie in a situation from earlier in the year till today where they both deal with someone being set on fire, and this guy just resigned, like being fired. Now, let me show you something. New York police chief fired, but he really resigned. He resigned, but I'm just playing on the words here. New York City, hours after disturbing allegations of sexual misconduct against the New York PD's now former top uniform cop, Jeffrey Madry, again's scandal has struck the New York Police Department. Miguel Aguilas, the chief of internal affairs, a bureau ironically tasked with fighting corruption within the police department, has been relieved of his command by NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tischer. All right, so he resigned, but he's got a history, people. He's got a history. Let's see, I pulled it up earlier. Let's see. Police chief fired. Let's get his name. Yeah, let's see. Jeffrey Madry. Jeffrey Madry. Jeffrey Madry. Now, if you check him out, he got a little history. He was sued in 2016 by a subordinate in civil court, accusing him of assaulting her and making persistent sexual advances. Federal charges failed, but he did face internal discipline. Yeah, he's got a few things going on. He now, the way this story goes, and let me get you that story, because this is bizarre. This is bizarre. What transpired here? Listen to this here.
Nothing makes a gathering.
And like I say, it's a play on words with me. I'm not saying that, it's connected, but just find it kind of interesting.
In Mayor Eric Adams' administration, an NYPD top brass, Chief of Department Jeff Madry. Another resignation in Mayor Eric Adams' administration, an NYPD top brass, Chief of Department Jeff Madry has resigned effective immediately amid alarming sexual misconduct allegations. Eyewitness News reporter Janice Hu has the details.
Another big shakeup in the NYPD. Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry resigned abruptly on Friday following allegations of sexual misconduct.
The allegations are extremely concerning and alarming. The police commissioner is doing it for me to go into the details.
The New York Post, Madry demanded sexual favors and received them in exchange for approving overtime. In a statement, the NYPD says the resignation Friday was effective immediately and that the NYPD takes all allegations of sexual misconduct seriously.
So there was a lady who had a desk job, I believe, and the money is just, it's off the chain. Let me show you how off the chain it was. Let me go into this here. Sometimes things hit me as I'm going, and I'm like, wow. I want you to hear this.
Another
here.
Scandal rocking the NYPD. The department's highest-ranking uniformed officer resigned Friday night after a bombshell allegation of sexual misconduct on the job. Former Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry is accused of trading sexual favors for overtime. Derek Waller, live tonight outside NYPD headquarters in Lower Manhattan with the details. Derek.
Epps filed a complaint today with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. This comes after she actually filed for early retirement earlier this week. And basically, I can tell you that many of these details are disturbing. She says the abuse started last year and continued until this week. Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry just appeared a few days ago in front of the City Council's Public Safety Committee in the office. According to publicly available payroll data, Lieutenant Epps made a salary last year of over $164,000. But after overtime was factored in, she took home more than $400,000. After refusing his advances in October, she says Madry retaliated by orchestrating an intentionally manipulated monthly overtime report, which resulted in a criminal and internal investigation opened against.
So she went from $160-something thousand. Listen to this here. From $164,000 base pay to, watch this.
But after overtime was factored in, she took home more than $400,000 after refusing.
That's unbelievable. And my only question, because I'm not going to jump to the conclusion, I did business for 19 years when I ran restaurants, okay? I did audits every day. Matter of fact, every shift, every day, every week, every month, every quarter. My boss was in my restaurant on average 4 times a month, and he or she would go through my books. I had monthly and quarterly meetings where I had to show my books on labor. You hear me? On labor. Then on top of that, that information was sent to Louisville, Kentucky, home office of KFC, and they looked at it as well. So you're not going to make me believe that she went from $161,000 to $400,000 something dollars, and then it's just not hitting the fan? No way. What you're telling me is that either you have no checks and balances, or somebody else did a Stevie Wonder. Look, people, y'all in business, you know what I'm talking about. $400 and something thousand. Are you kidding me? 164?
$164,000. But after overtime was factored in, she took home more than
$400,000? New York, Dick Clark gonna come back from the grave and drop the ball. My name is Franchise Pearson. What do you think? What do you think about New York? Do you think both these situations could be tied in terms of the man on fire doing Trump trial versus the lady today that was set on fire? My condolences. And what about this? 9502 divided by 44 gives you 216, August 4th, and Barack Obama. But like I told you, the 84 and the 44, those numbers have been out here way before Barack Obama was born. This is the Antichrist system. And I figured it out this year. Don't forget, I have a book out. My name is Franchise Pearson. You can go to Franchise Blue. Just type in foreheads. My name, Franchise Blue, or Franchise Gift. Click on Amazon, and there's a book. For Christmas, you can order a book for you and or your family. Beautiful poetry book, including The Last Christmas. Wow, how profound. Franchise Pearson, Protect the Gift. Amazon Books, Protect the Gift. God bless you. Be safe. My condolences to family and friends.